Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Pure Holistic Podcast. My name is Cameron Sheffield, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of eating raw food, particularly a raw plant-based diet, or as some might call it, a live it, because we're not trying to die from what we eat, we want to live. And that is another reason that eating living raw foods is the best option. So one of the first things we can talk about is how it's going to improve your overall hydration. Most cooked foods lose most of their water content due to the cooking process. So when we eat our raw foods, we're actually eating them with all of the water that they're made up mostly of. And this is not an ordinary water. This is a water that's easily absorbed into our cells, making it an ideal source of hydration. So whenever we eat more raw foods, we can guarantee ourselves to be more hydrated. And secondly, we're going to be getting more of what's called enzymes. Enzymes are only found in raw living foods, and they are especially important for living creatures. So since we are living creatures, we need lots of enzymes, and if they're only found in living foods, we need to be eating living foods. But there's a problem with most living foods is that they've been sprayed with chemicals like pesticides and rodenticides and herbicides, and these are toxic chemicals that actually decrease the amount of enzymes that are available in our produce and our foods. So it's very important that you get the freshest foods possible so that you can get the most enzymes. But overall, eating more raw foods, whether they've been grown locally or shipped from across the country or the globe even, are going to be better sources of enzymes than anything processed, like the foods in the middle of the grocery store on the shelves. Those are the processed foods, very dehydrating and dead foods. These are referred to as dead foods because they have no enzymes, no life force in them. And the enzymes are important. So whenever you see an apple browning, that's the enzymes that are starting to break it down. And when we eat our foods, those enzymes that are in the food start to break it down for us, which helps us not have to use so much of our own enzymes and energy, which is really important because enzymes are not just for breaking down food, they're for repairing scar tissue, they're for repairing damaged muscles. For every chemical process in the body, we need enzymes. So they're going to help with hormones, your mental function, you name it. So I really recommend raw living foods for hydration and enzymes. But also, there's something that most people haven't even heard about, and this is called biophotons. Bio meaning living, and photons meaning light. So, living light. This is found in all of our fresh produce. It's most abundant in fruit. The vegetable with the most biophotons is sweet potato, or at least one of them. So even when you steam your sweet potatoes, there will still be a small amount of biophotons left in the potato. But if you really want to get this nutrient, you need to go for the fruits, berries, and melons. Herbs are very helpful too. But the biophotons, their function is so important. They actually help our cells communicate with each other. So inside the nucleus of the cell, we store our biophotons, and that is what's going to help us stay connected to not only our own selves, but to other people and their cells. So when you see a school of fish swimming in unison, that's because they've been absorbing the biophotons from their environment and the foods that they consume. And that allows their cells to all be in sync, to communicate with each other, allowing them to swim like they do. Same with birds that fly in unison, or any animal that's in tune with another living organism. So that's another reason that we have so much disarray and division in our world today, is because we don't have enough biophotons. So our cells are not able to communicate with each other, and therefore we're not actually as empathic and sympathetic with one another. We feel disconnected from nature. We feel disconnected from ourselves and each other. So eating these raw, living foods, biophoton-rich foods, will change your whole consciousness. So it's really important that we start incorporating these foods in our lives. Some people go 80% raw, 20% cooked, whatever it takes. But you should know that only humans cook their food. All other animals on the planet are eating a raw, living, species-specific diet. Species-specific meaning that animal has its food that it eats regularly, its food groups. So for humans, that is predominantly raw fruits and tender leafy greens. So I hope all this information was helpful today, and I really appreciate you taking the time to invest in yourself and to listen to the things that I have to share. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Pure Holistic. Peace and love, reflection.